Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 match. This one's going to be between IdrA spawning as a red Zerg and his opponent going to be Tethys spawning as a blue Terran, and the map's going to be Blistering Sands, and let's see what's going to happen here. This is going to be game number 1 between IdrA and T-Man. I'm just going to go with T-Man because I can't really pronounce his name that well. I apologize. But the second game is going to be in Zalnaga Caverns, and let's see what happens in this one, because everybody knows IdrA, and both players not saying anything, because you know IdrA, he's really polite in every StarCraft 2 game. He's like, hey man, how you doing, but not this time, which is kind of weird. But I did not see this game before I cast it, so I don't really know what's going to happen here, and the T-Man's going to be building a supply depot on his ramp, which is really important. That's what you want to do when you play against a Zerg player. You don't want to let your opponent to just let the speedlings run into your base and just kill all your SCVs, and you're pretty much going to lose the game. So always wall in, and when you play against the Zerg or any other player, it kind of actually helps you to defend against any early push from your opponent. And IdrA is not getting anything yet. He has like 13 drones, 14 drones, and he's still not getting no spawning pool or quick hatchery yet from IdrA, and this overlord is going to be probably sneaking out from some other direction, because this one has a long way to go from these rally points. This guy's going to be traveling forever, and T-Man's going to be building barracks, and he's probably going to build another supply depot over here just to wall off the ramp. And where is this drone's going to be going? Is IdrA's going to be getting an earlier expansion? He probably is, because he has enough mineral, and yes, IdrA's going to go for the quick hatchery before the spawning pool even, which is really like hard to play, because you have not even scouted your opponent, so you don't even know if your opponent are aggressive or defensive. But T-Man's finished the refinery, and he's gonna start mining gas before the barracks, which means he's gonna be building a factory after the barracks, and this supply depot probably gonna be done. And spawning pool is going down from IdrA finally, because man, if you play as a Zerg player and you build the hatchery before the spawning pool, you at least want to scout your opponent, so you know that he's really not aggressive, dude. He's just chilling in the base like this guy's doing, just pretty much doing basics Terran opening, just walling off the ramp, getting a marine down, and probably getting some more marines or something. And orbital command is finished, and this mule comes from nowhere pretty much, since it's just on a planet, flies from the space and start mining, which is kind of hard to explain in this game. But and the factory is going down, so you know when the refinery finishes before the barracks, and you're probably gonna expect factory from your opponent. And where's this SCV? This SCV needs to put the supply depot up, because this drone cannot allow it to get in the base, and know there's a factory on the way. And this drone's like, oh, time to go home. And there's drones gonna be transferring. IdrA's gonna be transferring some drones towards his expansion, and he needs to start getting some more to get it saturated and up and running. And he already getting 2 queens on the way and 2 zerglings. Queens are pretty good against early Reaper harassment, kinda, if you can micro them really well on creep, but you kind of want to get Zerglings to be more safer. And this SCV is going to be just roaming in here, seeing that there's 2 Zerglings on the way, and the hatchery is finished from IdrA, and he knows that T-Man, now he can be aggressive right now, because he knows that his opponent has an early hatchery before the spawning pool. He can really put pressure on IdrA right now, because IdrA invested too much minerals in the hatchery before it's going to start kicking in, and the metabolic boost is being researched right now by IdrA, and IdrA's going to be getting nothing except drones, so he's gonna just start to get a really good economy going at one spawning pool against any harassment from his opponent. And the T-Man's gonna be getting Hellion, really good choice from T-Man, because the Hellion harassment is really effective in this game. And I want to say something about the patch, because the patch did the thing that you cannot build barracks after the supply depot. You have to build supply depot then the barracks, which is kind of dumb. I don't know, I don't really like that way, because Terran is really nerfed down now. I think they nerfed down Reapers even more in this game, so I don't think Reapers are even got less effective as they were before. And 2 Hellions are on the way from T-Man, and T-Man should be getting into mineral line and start frying down some of these Zerglings, because there's only 1 Spine Crawler and 1 Queen to defend against those 2 Reapers. And there is really only 2 buddies jumping over here, like jumping jacks, doo-doo-doo. See? You can tell the difference when they got on creep. They're like, oh, time to go faster. And this Hellion, oh man, this guy's like, oh, I didn't get to go outside the play. And these Hellions are actually making it to the main base of IdrA. There's enough Zerglings to defend against these, and these Zerglings are the speedlings. They should be able to scare down these Hellions. And Hellions are going to be pushing back. And this Hellion really needs to get out, because 4 Hellions should be able to do enough damage. And there's more Hellions, and he really needs to put this supply depot down. Let the Hellions out, dude. Let them out. And what is it? There's a Banshee on the way coming in from T-Man, which is really good to see Banshee. And this Overlord is like, oh, I made it here. And IdrA's still kind of playing in the dark because he has not scouted his opponent. All he sees is probably a factory and a couple supply depots and marauders maybe. But there is 4 Hellions and there is 2 more coming in with these 2 guys. 6 Hellions should be enough to deal with. However, how many Zerglings here? That many Zerglings, those Hellions should be frying up those Zerglings pretty easily because these dudes, oh look at these Zerglings are going down so fast, and these Hellions really need to get into the mineral line and start doing as much damage as they can towards all of these drones. And look at these drones are getting pushed out of the mineral line and they're all probably gonna get fried and all in a line. All the drones might be going down. Look how close all they are. One more shot and most of these drones will go down, and the Hellions trying to do as much damage as they can, but no, they're going down. But still, those Hellions did so much damage towards IdrA. IdrA probably lost a lot of drones from the N1, but this expansion is still up and running pretty good, so IdrA really needs to start getting some more units to put some pressure on his opponent. Because the T-Man is just getting Marauders, Marines, and a bunch of Banshees. Where's the Banshee? Banshee? Actually, one of the Banshees is finished right now, but IdrA's going to try to push in with as many Zerglings as he can, trying to break the back rocks, man. And I think he's seen the Banshee, but there's 2 Queens to defend against the Banshee, but there's no cloak for the Banshees yet. And I think one Banshee should be effective to snipe the Queen down, because Banshees do way more damage than the Queen does towards them. And I guess IdrA is going to try to break these rocks, but the Hellions are in perfect position right now, and they should be doing a lot of damage to these Zerglings. Look at these guys. These guys can go down so easily, and the Banshee is doing kind of a little bit of harassment, but he really needs to research the cloak and snipe the Banshee. And an Overseer is being morphing right now, but there is the Spire is finished from IdrA, and we're gonna see some Mutas coming into the game as favorite IdrA build. Bunch of Zerglings and bunch of Mutas, which is really common from IdrA, but there is enough Marauders and Hellions and Marines to deal with the Zerglings and the Mutas at the same time. The Hellions are gonna be pushing all the way in, and the T-Man's gonna be going all the way in. See what he can do towards IdrA's, like, pretty much finish off IdrA if he can. But look, the Banshees over here, he really needs to bring another one back, and the Hellions should be able to deal with those Zerglings, but the Marines are going to be focusing down on a Mutalist, but there's way too many Mutas from IdrA. IdrA has way too many Mutas to deal with, and the Stimpak is finished, and the Zerglings are going to be trying to focusing down on Marauders and Marines, but they better be focusing down on Marines, and all Marines are going down to these Zerglings, and there's only 2 Marauders, 1 Marauder left, and this guy's going to try to do as much damage as he can, but no, there's way too many Mutas for T-Men to deal with, and IdRA's probably going to be pushing in all the way with 10, 11 Mutalisks to deal with this small army. He should be able to do enough damage towards it. And look, T-Man's gonna try to switch the factory and start getting some more Thors or getting Vikings to deal with these Mutas, but there is not enough Marines to deal with that many Mutalisks. 1 Viking is on the field, but the Viking's gonna get focusing down, and T-Man's gonna be GG'ing. So this has been game number 1 between IdrA and T-Man, and thank you for watching.